Yu-Gi-Oh! Mint.com is now TradingCardMint.com. Please check out their selection of over 20,000 cards with prices cheaper than TCG Player.
Alright, what's up YouTube? MCool40 here with The Claw. No relation. We're going to be doing a Coral deck profile and discussing a few things here. First off, check out our friends at TradingCardMint.com down below in the description. We've had this deck sitting around for a long time from our friend Kyler. Actually dropped it on us because he was a huge Coral fan and then lost faith in the deck. And then today we bring it back. Such a great time to be alive for Coral. So,
hi, Kyler.
Thanks, Kyler. So, alright, we're gonna dig into just ratios. This is the best damn Coral to ever exist next to Shangri-La. Tell me about this fantastic piece of work.
I mean, being able to ride...
Louder, please.
Oh, my bad.
More vibrantly, like the unicorn you are.
She's beautiful. So being able to ride this and put any card into your soul and draw 2 cards and then give your entire front row plus 5k for every 2 Corals is ridiculously good. Especially when you go first because they're usually on a 9k base and you're usually giving plus 10k, so you're automatically hitting for a 19k column on their 9k base unless they're amazing playing 10ks, which don't happen very often anymore. Obviously you have to stride a Coral and then for it to use... when you stride, you have to stride a Coral, but you ride it and you get it. Also, if you have 4 Corals in your soul, it gives itself the break ride, or the cross ride status. So it gets plus 2k, so it's a 13k base, and it's actually pretty troublesome anymore.
This fantastic card.
Yeah, we were playing Angie's, and then one of this, but I went down to playing just 2 of this because Angie really is like, I don't ever see myself really wanting to ride the Angie. And then you can't really ever get it back. These are actually really good for the Dominate matchup because they have Lord. So you can hold these in your hand in the Dominate matchup, wait for them to Rin you, drop 2 of these, and then their Rin's dead because they can't attack with it. So,
Thank you, Lord.
That's what she's there for.
Alright.
So 6th grade.
Until they have the grade 1 that says, hi, I'm Bermuda Triangle.
Starters very...
control a unit without...
Starters is still very beautiful.
Yeah, starter. I mean, it's your ride chain. You never thought ride chain would be relevant in 2018,
but
it is. This is super relevant. And since if you didn't know, this is the Aurora Star Coral.
Original grade 1.
Same name, different
same
card.
name. It's a different card, but it's obviously that's what you search.
Continuing up the right chain here.
Yep. 4 of the grade 1, you want to have it no matter what. Obviously, there's nothing to be said about that. Search out the grade 2, search out the grade 3, whatever you need. So, that's basically what you play. Plus, 8k base is nice.
10k base is really good, I heard.
Why did we skip all the ones?
We're going through the right chain.
Oh, the right chain, okay. So then, obviously, you play 4 of the grade 2. I mean, this is actually really good, because no matter what, you get to bounce a front row card back to your hand if this unit hits. Then if you have the grade 1, I believe? Yeah. If you have the grade 1, and it lets you bounce a back row. So you can. So when it attacks, you can bounce the front and back row. So you get 2 cards instead of just bouncing 1, which is really good because this is usually a 10k base when you do that. So you throw a 7k behind it. If you're going first, it's 17k to a 7k. So they aren't typically going to guard. So you're going to drive check and you're going to get your 2 cards back that you already attacked with.
Yeah, it's just insane free value. I found myself playing against this. Like you're just like, well, I take the rear guard column and like you hit the trigger, you punish me.
Yeah.
So how many Coral do you have? And how big can you make your front row if you have
20,000?
20,000 has been my limit so far. I haven't made it to the 20,000
I'm saying
mark.
All it depends.
Yeah, it depends. I'm not sure what the actual number is.
I think you can go for 25 or 30.
I think you can get 30. I mean, you may be able to get higher. I don't know. Games don't last long enough to get that high.
Yeah. 2 copies of this.
Yeah, you only need 2. Basically, the thing about this is even when it goes to the soul, you counterblast 1. You put it in your hand and you call it, and then you soul charge 1. So it has major reoccurrence no matter what. I mean, if both go to the damage zone, well, I mean, you have to use your other grade 2s. But I mean, it's a really good card. Plus, it gets 2k when it attacks, so it's 11k attack rate.
3 copies of this stupid fucking thing.
If I could play 4, I would. I just don't have the room. But I mean, Spica, it's Spica.
Spica.
Yeah, I mean, being able to bounce a unit and call any unit. So I mean, obviously, your main play is. You play this and you have this on board, you bounce this back to your hand, you call back, your Coral's giving your whole front row, you know, plus 15k typically. The fun play is to have 2 of these, so you have 1 on board, 1 in hand, and then another grade 2. You bounce the grade 2, call the Spica with a booster behind it, and then do it all over again. So I mean, it's Spica. Later in the day, I can find out how to play 4. I might, because it's really good.
That's 4 rearguard attacks. You got 2 Spicas.
And then I play Maitoa. I don't know. She's just... When she's called, she can take a unit from the board or your hand with Quarrel and put it into your soul. I know in a couple games I was able to... I misrode, and so I was able to call the starter out, and then I'm actually able to either ride this or call it to rearguard, and I'm able to put the starter back in the soul, so that way I have my number of quarrels, plus I get to draw a card when that happens. And her skill's placed on rearguard or vanguard, which is really good. And then if she's in the soul and you have 3 or more cards in your soul, you can soul blast her and draw a card, and you don't have to have a quarrel vanguard for her.
Alright, moving on along to Stride Plotters. Nothing, just 3 of them, nothing too special.
Yeah, 3 Stride Plotters. You need them because you only play 6 grade 3s. So, I mean, there's nothing to say about that.
4 copies of this. Are you going to go to more or less? Or?
No, we're going to stay at 4. I think 4 has been the perfect number. I mean, I know you can play 6 of this, but I think that 4 is like the perfect number because, I mean, I find myself not wanting to ride these things. I find myself wanting to either ride my stride, or not my stride, but my stride chain, or the other grade 1 that we play. So 4 is a perfect number. I was playing 3, but I wasn't seeing it enough, and sometimes it cost me a game. Plus, this one is really good because it pushes the card that you use for the cost to the soul.
Just like the
so you fuel.
If only you knew that in your first playtest.
Yeah, in the first playtest video, I totally forgot about that, and it was even translated in English, and I forgot. But I mean, it lets you put a quarrel in the soul, and then I think if you have 2 or more, you choose units, and they get like resist or something, or they can't be hit.
Number Sentinels in your drop zones 2 or more, choose all of your rearguards, and they cannot be hit until the end of the turn.
So that's really good. I mean, if you have front row units, you don't want to die, but most of the time you don't have units on the board.
4 copies of this.
Yes, this is on play. Reveal top 5 cards. Choose a grade 2 or lower quarrel. Put it in your hand and then take a card from your hand and put it into your soul. This actually is also an ideal ride target too if you don't get the other grade 1 because you can search the top 5, you can pull the grade 1, put it into the soul, and then if you have the grade 2 in your hand, you can ride the grade 2, you're a 10k base and you have both your skills online. So this is the other one that I like to ride. Plus when it's in the soul, you can take a grade 2 or greater card from your hand, put it into the soul. You take this, put it into your hand, call it from your hand, choose a unit, give it 2k, and you reveal the top 5 and put a quarrel in your hand. And then you put a card in your soul. So, card at least isn't mandated by must be placed from hand.
This stupid critical trigger.
This is your. I never have to G-assist card because this card is just. You put it into your drop zone from hand or soul if you have a Vanguard with Coral, and then you search top 5 for a unit with Coral. You can either put it in your soul or put it in your hand, and the cool thing is like with your grade 3, you can put this in your soul and then draw your 2 cards, and you can soul blast this out, and then search your top 5 for either something you need in your hand or for
4 counter charges.
I mean, it's countercharging, and it's free.
Alright, so 4 copies of this. Austin really wants to test the Strand Trigger over this. This card's still really good, because if you get a Quarrel up in the front row swinging for 40,000, you can double it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, it doubles the power no matter what. But the thing about it is like, I mean, I don't know. I see myself wanting to test the stands. The only reason I want to test stands is because this right here, like...
We were originally testing Angie. That's why these have more synergy.
Yeah, and these have more synergy with the Angie, but we took it out. But, I mean, 12 crit's really good because not a lot of people are expecting 12 crit. Like, people are expecting stand triggers. But I do want to test stands because your columns are really big by themselves. So that stand trigger just allows you to put it back, call again, attack again for, you know, more columns. But these work really well. Doubling power is good, I heard. I just never got to ever double power. So,
and 4 counter charges.
4 counter charges. I don't know how many times these things came in handy today.
You ever soul charge?
Nope. Who needs soul charge?
Alright, so Bermuda, the most broken stride that this deck has.
Yeah! Frontier Star Coral. I mean, this card is just insanely good. First stride, second stride. I mean, basically you have to have 2 of it face up for it to actually be super broken. But, I still ride this as my first stride because it lets me drive check 3 and put all the cards that I put on the board. Lets me put them back in my hand so that when my opponent goes into either their first stride or something like that, I have an abundance of cards in my hand.
And no board.
And yeah, and then like I could play my triggers and just not feel bad. Like I can throw my triggers out there and then they just all go back to hand. Plus she gets 5k every time. So
This card's kind of bad.
yeah, sometimes could be used as a first stride. I don't ever use it.
Anti-lock.
Yeah, anti-lock. That's why
Also
she's there.
GB2 for a crit trigger.
Yep. This
Same here.
thing?
Yeah, I don't. This needs to go away. I don't think it's supposed to be in here. It's just, I mean,
It's shiny.
it's shiny. Cho-Cho,
Restand.
she really good. She restands. She can return anything back to the deck. So if you're fearing deck out, put 3 back.
One Moegito.
Oh, mine's not pretty.
I mean, have you gotten into this yet?
I haven't won into it. I mean,
You usually win by the
I
time it
mean,
goes
you're
off.
usually winning if you go this first stride and then you go this second stride.
And
You're
then
usually
shoot.
winning on this because you have the spick in your hand and you're just gonna smack your opponent.
G-Guardians. I think these ratios are fine, right?
Yeah, I think this is actually probably our best G-Guardian. And the only reason I say that is because, like, it counts Sentinels. So it gets 10k for every Sentinel in your drop zone. And it's just like, on a 13k base, this makes you 38. So you automatically beat thresholds. Like,
One hand, or...
yeah, I've used this a lot. Calling grade 2s that are, the grade 2 Maito is actually really good to call. Because this calls it, and then you get to shove a Coral to the Soul and draw a card. And then this also gets 10k. Then you have an Interceptor as well. So, I don't know. I kind of want to take this out for another Ellie.
you can take this out for the... They got another new G-Guardian. I thought it was better than this.
Oh yeah, counter charges. I don't know. Ellie's really good.
This card's broken.
Yeah, I get big.
How you like into hand in hand?
I love these because I like being able to bounce crap that my opponent's going after, and then I don't have to call that same one to the guard circle.
Oh, yeah.
So I can bounce like the grade 2 if it gets stuck on the board, and then put whatever I
Little
choose.
fishies.
No, more fishies.
Alright, guys. Please check out our friends down at tradingcardmint.com down below in the description. And well, that's all we got for this deck profile. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Austin will try his best to respond to comments. Alright, guys. I'm out. Later.